Hi Taurus, this is your July 2024 reading here on YouTube. And if this reading resonates, I will link a extended version of this reading below where we go even deeper. So this month, Taurus, there's a lot of action happening in your sign. Mars, here you are. Okay, let's see what's under this King of Pentacles. I'm intrigued. Mars is going to be conjoining Uranus in the sign of Taurus mid-month. And Mars will trace over. Do you remember that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in the sign of Taurus in late April? Very benefic, very lucky, very expansive. Mars is going to trace over that degree in the first week or at the end of the first week of July in your sign, Taurus. So that's going to kind of aliven or wake up again that transit that occurred in April and probably bring around an enhanced blessing towards the end of the first week of July. What's under here? King of Pentacles, this is the Taurus energy. So you're coming through right away, really strong. You're also coming through as a very fortuitous, successful, yes, fiery individual this month. The Six of Wands and the Nine of Wands. So with the Wand energy, we're talking about fire, we're talking about assertiveness, we're talking about action. Kind of those Marsy sort of words, right? Success with the Six of Wands. Perseverance, stamina, determination, pride, applause. And you're feeling very strong physically too, you know, just feeling really powerful. Okay, let's pull cards and get into this July reading for you now. I'm going to pull 10 cards. And in the extended, I'll pull another 10 cards. All right, that's how that'll work. The Page of Wands, ideas emerging and inspiration around you now. The Sun in reverse. The Nine of Cups. You're very pleased with yourself, aren't you? The Two of Cups. Romance, relationships, all going really well. Six of Pentacles. We have the Moon in Taurus. And we have the Tower coming through. Mars and Uranus. This is Mars in action. It can be, you know, something that comes in a surprise way with Uranus, you know. The fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo, especially those of you who have planets in those fixed signs or luminaries from around, let's say, 22 to 27, 28 degrees. It's a wide margin I'm giving there, but you might feel the chaos of the tower mid-month a little bit more than others. The Ten of Wands. But we saw you and the High Priestess here. You're very relaxed. Like there's an inner peace, I feel like, around you. So it's almost like that strong central pillar of integrity, of peace, of self-knowledge, and even you're getting very transpersonal this month, very connected to something outside of the mundane. It's really, you're not going to be faltering this month, okay? So the Page of Cups, that's the second page. Really important conversations coming through for you this month, for sure. And then we have the Seven of Wands. So Empress at the bottom of the deck and the Four of Wands and the Ace of Cups. So the blessing, in my opinion, that's coming through for you right at the beginning of the month, I think that alignment of Mars transiting over 20, 21, 22 degrees of Taurus, where the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction happened at that degree point, I think it was 22 degrees on April 20th. What's going to happen there is a reactivation of whatever that meant for you. So where's your Taurus part of your chart? What house is that? What's the domain? And that represents the area of life. The blessing for a lot of you seems to be luxurious, seems to be maybe expensive, seems to be delicious, and seems to be very sensual, pleasurable, enjoyable. It could come up around your home and living situation. It could be speaking about home improvements. It could be speaking about a party, a feast, a get-together. It could be talking about some sort of a celebration, a homecoming, an energy of belonging and togetherness. I mean, what do we see when we see the Ace of Cups and the Empress together? Her red heart in the center of her chest, the cup of emotion and connection just pouring over. It speaks to love. There's a lot to be said this month for your relationships, Taurus. The Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Empress. whatever's happening in your world right now, there is a sense of, I said belonging, but there's a sense of connection, and there's a sense of coming together. There's a sense of loving and being loved. And you're probably trying to figure out which is better, to love or to be loved. And I don't even think you have to choose. It's so free flowing all around you. Your relationships are thriving. You yourself as an individual are thriving, and your energy is really contagious. The Empress also speaks to blessings and abundance in the material sort of sense too, because it's Venusian. We can talk about being gifted a painting. We can talk about creating a painting. We can talk about gifts, giving and receiving. We can talk about music and art and just those like nuanced parts of being human, and going to see musicians play or you yourself playing music, dressing up, falling in love with a pet, with a person, with nature, with the world around you. There's just a lot of flow of love around you, but a blessing coming through around home and living situation. Some of you working for a corporation or an institution or a household name are also going to be probably seeing like a reward coming there, like a bonus, or just like a pat on the back. We saw the Six of Wands earlier, just like a some really positive affirmation coming your way in your company or institution. Home and living for sure, especially like I see like mother and child here as well. Grandmother, mother, matriarchal line energy, aunts, things like that, just like positive feminine energy in your field. And there's nurturing here, there's nourishment. Like some of you could be kind of embodying that role even deeper at this time in your life. Let's get into this Celtic cross spread. Okay, so bright ideas. I mean, that's what's going on for you right now. We have the Page of Wands and the Sun card in reverse. The Page of Wands speaks to inspiration, and it speaks to the kind of things that you want to share. You're like chomping at the bit. Like I can see that you're really excited to talk about something. You've tried out something new. You want to talk about it. You want to let people in on this secret. You don't want to gatekeep it. Something's been working for you. Something's been helping you to feel alive and thriving and healthy and full of vitality. And you just don't want to keep that all to yourself. It's very generous of you. It's very Empress of you, Taurus, because we know that when we are in Empress energy, it's number 3. 3 is about abundance and flow and fertility and growth and more and more and more. So we know that when we list 3 things, for example, to be grateful for, we're going to just be kind of opening the floodgates. And the floodgates are open around you now, Taurus. This is a time in your life where you can celebrate your life and look how good things are for you, and look how much Nine of Cups fulfillment, look how much is coming true for you right now. But this is about bright ideas being shared. Now, the way the Sun card's in reversed, it's a little weird, right? Because it's not a bad card. In obviously upright, it's amazing. And in the reversal, it doesn't diminish that shine too much. But why did it come up in reverse? And we're going to look at it in the extended. I might actually pull one card to clear up. If I have to pick up one card to clear up, it'll be the Sun card in reverse in this reading. And then we'll go deeper into everything else in the extended, like I said. But the Sun card in reverse, it's like, what is dampening this idea just a touch? What is currently, and I feel like this is like a very present energy, so I think a lot of you will probably know already way before I know, but you've got these ideas, you've got information to share, you're excited about something, and you want to speak about it, you want to act on it, you want to do something about it, and you're proud of all of this. Like you're proud of yourself, you're proud of the connections you're making. And then the Sun card in reverse is saying, well, it's so bright. It is a bright idea. It's brilliant. It's dazzling. But the reversal is just saying that there's something that is dampening the shine just a touch. And what is that? And why? That's hindering you a little bit. That's holding you back. And you know what it might be? It might just be a timing thing. The Sun moves into its domicile in Leo towards the end of the month. So the 22nd, I believe, this year. And that could be when it is a more appropriate time for you to speak on this, or when the like hindrance, hampering, I don't know, I'm just making words up now, will be expelled or pushed away. They're gone. Here you are again, the King of Pentacles, and here's that Six of Wands again, and the Nine of Wands, like we've seen. So the success on this is pretty much in the bag for you. I think the King of Pentacles with the High Priestess, it's kind of very self-confident, quietly confident, self-assured energy that comes through with these two characters. The Six of Wands, you don't want to be smug. You kind of do look like the cat that got the cream. I think we talked about this on a Patreon reading. Was it the June reading on Patreon? No. It was either the May or June reading on Patreon for you, Taurus. I now remember that we were like, you are the cat that got the cream because you've been vindicated on something. And I think this is like coming up for a long time for you. And you were like waiting for your like, I told you so moment, but you didn't even really need to do that. You were quite graceful about it. Like you were like, I knew that they would see this person for who they truly were or something like that. So I did talk about you being like really like the cat that got the cream in a reading a while ago. But now it's like just so embedded into your like your nervous system that you're like, I'm chill. I was so based on that. And you have so much quiet confidence and that this is going to be a huge success for you. And it will be kind of a little bit embarrassing for those who doubted you, of course. You know, they might come up with egg on their face, but you're in High Priestess and King of Pentacles energy. You're going to be very, you know, nonchalant about things, and you're just going to be very like, I knew I would get there in the end. I knew I would be successful with this, and you don't really need to prove anything anymore. The success story on this will be quite visible and quite loud. It'll speak for itself overall. So, King of Pentacles. Fixed placements. Let's just talk about that for a second. Leo, which we have sort of referenced with the Sun card, I guess. Scorpio, Aquarius, and then Taurus, right? So fixed sign chaos mid-month, the 15th to be precise, the Tower, Uranus and Mars conjoining in the sign of Taurus. Okay, so if you have anything around the 26-degree mark of Taurus, like I said, let's say from 23 to, this is more specific to mid-month, 23 to 28 degrees of Taurus, moon, rising, sun, of course, anything, or any of those placements in Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo, that conjunction is going to impact you guys more strongly because it's going to be either squaring those placements if you're in another fixed sign, or it's going to be conjoining in Taurus. So the first half of the month is all about strength. It's all about being sure of your voice, being confident in your ideas. They're so bright. They're brilliant ideas. Don't doubt them, right? And they will be successful. We see the Six of Wands here. There's something about you needing to tune out those who don't get the message yet. Things are going to not fall apart mid-month. The Tower is here, though. We'll go into it in the extended. But they will be cleansed, right? So there will be a stripping away mid-month of what isn't really a believer in this. If there's anybody who doubts you, if there's anybody who is even working at cross purposes to you, I doubt it. But if there's anybody who doesn't really believe in you, or would actually like almost undermine you, or even worse again, like try to sabotage you, they will have to be stripped away, okay? And you have this in your peripheral already, the Sun card in the reversal. So you kind of know that there's something that is just dampening this just a little bit. And the King of Pentacles to me is saying, like, just believe in yourself. This is you. Does this person look like they've anything to worry about? They've got, this is in the bag. This is secured. And all those grapes, the king, the crown, and that's a big pentacle. I mean, the pentacles don't always look that big, right? That's a big pentacle. It's pretty juicy with those grapes too. So you don't have anything to worry about. This is guaranteed almost. I can't say for certain, but it looks to me really, really promising. And a lot left over from it. Like there's more ideas. There's more ways that this can go. And again, physically, you're doing really good at the moment. Okay, so Nine of Cups. At the moment, you know, the first part of the month, and I think this speaks to that Mars transiting over the degrees that Uranus and Jupiter conjoined in April for you, there's going to be some like extra blessing, or there's more to come on a storyline that began in late April for you in terms of abundance. The Nine of Cups is all about satisfaction, happiness, joy. It's a big amount of fullness in your life, really. And that could be coming from your relationships. The Two of Cups is down here in the subconscious energy. You're really feeling very safe and understood by the person you're with. You feel very seen at the moment. If you're not in a romantic relationship, this would tell me that you might be ready to open up to that blessing pretty soon, because the subconscious is already wired to the Two of Cups. So it's not impacting the conscious way of moving and shaking in the world, or it's not influencing your conscious behavior and motivations in a negative way at all. On the contrary, very positively, because through the subconscious Two of Cups feeding up towards the Nine of Cups, this would tell me for those of you who are single and potentially ready to invite the blessing of romance or love or partnership or a new friend or a family reconciliation or some way of relating into your world again. It's actually telling me that you're good as you are. King of Pentacles, Nine of Cups. You're so satisfied with who you are at this time and what you have going on for you in your world that, like that Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck earlier and the Empress, the cuppeth runneth over. The cup runneth over for you. So it's really kind of obvious then that that would align energetically with another cup that's running over. Could that be another friend, a pet, a lover? Yes, I think that's what's very likely. And the Two of Cups in the subconscious is saying, like, we're not fearing this. We're actually ready for it, but we're not seeking it in any way that's like a yearning or a scarcity. The Empress, of course, we don't hear the word scarcity with that card, or the King of Pentacles. So you're ready. For those of you who are in love or dating or getting to know somebody and you're really vibing with them, this looks like a good thing. Your subconscious, you know, you're probably not having too many scary dreams about this person. The subconscious is safe and telling you that, you know, the signals coming from the subconscious mind are saying, like, this feels good, this feels right, and this person seems to understand you very well. And the Nine of Cups is just more sure, you know, you guys do fun things together, you enjoy each other, you have a great thing going on, and maybe they make you blush, maybe you make them blush, but this does seem like a very satisfied energy around all your relationships at the moment. So lately you've been helped out by somebody. Six of Pentacles. Financially, could be a loan, could be support from an institution, a bank, a government agency even. Does that happen anymore? The Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, I pulled this card when I got my maternity leave recently, so I guess it does happen. But the Six of Pentacles is about getting some sort of help or aid or assistance. And of course, that doesn't need to be financially. It can be. But it could be just like an emotional support system, you know, somebody cheering you on. Recently, there has been this energy of reciprocity. Some of you who share a car, share a flat, share custody, it's all been working very well, very balanced. It's just in a very like flow state. The pages in this reading, well, the pages of course speak to communication and ideas, but they do often speak to younger people, don't they? Children of our own, children in the family, nieces, nephews, cousins, children that, you know, that we teach, that we mentor, that we guide. This could be coming up for you, Taurus. For some reason, I mean, we might see the Hierophant card in the extended. That's the Taurus energy too. The teacher, the guide, the mentor, the guru. For some reason, I can just see that card coming into my mind now. And for me, it's telling me like that you, for whatever reason, are called up to lead by example, to share the wisdom you know, to teach, to instruct, to guide, to just be an example, just to embody some sort of a quality that for whatever reason you have so much wisdom on. It comes very naturally to you. And it's instinctual. Like, do I hear maternal instinct? Yes, I do when I'm seeing these children, but also it's like, it could be any kind of instinct that now just comes so naturally to you that you're just being it. It's, you know, your King of Pentacles and High Priestess, like the wisdom, the scroll, the hidden knowledge, the inner knowing. It's not loud, it's not brass, it's not preaching, it's not dogmatic or zealous. It's just embodied, and it's you, and it's the essence. And people are looking and like, okay, let me just do that. Let me learn how to do that. Or I'll just copy, not copy in a sort of imitating way, but just like, I'll just do what they're doing. It works. It's very commonsensical. It's very embodied. So for whatever reason, you're sort of kind of stepping up to the plate here, and you're looking after people, nourishing people, instructing, teaching, leading by example. There's one word, nurturing. Yeah, I guess it's nurturing your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, nephews, or the kids at school, or the kids in that class, or that extracurricular, or in your community, or in your neighborhood, or on the YouTube videos you make for educating children, whatever it might be. That's coming through, okay? Whitney Houston, I believe the children are our future. What a gorgeous song. Maybe play that. It's the greatest love of all. And I mean, there's a lot of love around you at the moment. So that's what my clairaudient ear is hearing. All right, so the Six of Wands, you've been helped out recently, financial support coming your way. Finances aren't even really coming up here at the moment, so maybe when we go deeper that will come through. But to me, what I'm saying, for those of you who are called only to watch this video, that would tell me that finances are fine. Okay, they're good. You're in a fine place. Okay, I've seen the King of Pentacles, so some of you are doing extremely well. But for the most part, what happened recently for you, you know, over the last week or so, or couple of weeks, has just given you that kind of like a sense of balance. The scales are here, a sense of security, and a sense of like, I'm okay, I don't need to worry, I can relax, and I can just kind of, maybe you're in vet, you know, maybe you needed that support to pour into this bright idea that you want to share, and maybe you needed that money to sort of pour into these dates and these gifts and these pleasurable experiences that you want to share with friends or lovers and family members and things like that. Okay, the Tower. Okay, so, and I mean, it makes sense that we see the Seven of Wands and the Ten of Wands, this kind of defense, this kind of like standing your ground, this kind of like, oh, I have to do it all alone. Yeah, because somebody or something is blown out of the water, the woodwork. Okay, something comes up. Something comes up around the 15th of the month. Mars Uranus conjunction. I mean, as I say that, it's 22 minutes and 22 seconds. What does that mean? Well, that's an angel number, or a sequence of numbers. We have Two of Cups, and we have the High Priestess, two. We have alignment. 2222 is alignment. So it's a sequence of bringing things into alignment for you. And what happens is that around the middle part of the month, the Tower can be surprising, the Tower can be cleansing, the Tower can be crisis, or it can be destabilizing, but it can also be cathartic, and it could also be very purifying. Something happens externally, I believe, to strip away any pretenses, any bullshit. It strips this away, so you're left with something very pure, very fine, pure matter, which is real and true. And from this you can, I'm reminded of a quote that my friend shared from the book The Alchemist. It talks about finding something pure, you'll always be able to return to it, but maybe if what you found was just kind of like likened to the light from an exploding star, I'm paraphrasing, it would be burning bright for just a little bit of time, and then it kind of fades. What you're looking to find is something that doesn't fade. That's something that's just pure matter, and no matter what happens externally, the foundations of this is so strong. What you're left with after the 15th of the month is going to be that pure matter. And anything else, it's not that it has to be bad or that you regret it. It's not a mistake. It's just that it wasn't going to be part of this bright idea, or didn't vibe with the revitalized version of you, because maybe your vibe is just raising, and that person or that idea or that job or wherever the circumstance or person, and maybe it's you, it just doesn't fit with the upgrade anymore. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad reflection if it's you and the old version of you, and it's not a bad thing if it's somebody else or a job that you were in or a place you stayed. They're all on their own journey too, and eventually that might catch up with you again. But for now, you'll see something be blown out of the water from around the 15th onwards. And that leaves you 10 of Wands with a little bit more to do, okay? So the highest self, the advice here, the 10 of Wands is saying, you're going to have to do some of the heavy lifting because, you're going to be eliminating something. So there's going to be more for you to pick up the slack and carry forward. From around the 15th of the month onwards, you're going to feel that tiredness. You're going to feel the burnout, okay? Possibly. There's no, you might be loving this, like carrying all of this. You might feel really productive. You might feel so strong. You might feel so able. So to mitigate any burnout, try to continue to do something that you still feel passionate about. It might actually be this, and then there will be no burnout. But if it's something that you feel laborious or it's just annoying, try to continue to remember that where you are right now when you see this video in Page of Wands, you're not going anywhere. Page of Wands is inspired, creative, youthful, full of vitality, excited, and optimistic about life. Just go back to that when you feel the 10 of Wands, because this doesn't last forever either. So it's just about pulling up the sleeves and getting through it and trying to incorporate your inner child work or your inner child play into your daily. It might not be possible every day after the 15th of the month, because things are getting a little bit more hard work and effort is needed. But keep enjoying yourself, keep bringing a bit of play into your day or your week if you can. There was another piece of advice. Nutrition, okay? Everybody is different. I'm not a nutritionist, but I know what works for me, and you probably know what works for you in terms of what gives you energy and fuel. So that's just something to keep being mindful of. High Priestess, if there's anybody giving you silent treatment, we'll look at it in the extended. If there's anybody ghosting you, if there's anybody ignoring you, if there's anybody who's just not keeping in touch with you, or you guess don't really want to speak to you anymore, that's okay. The High Priestess is just here to say that they've got their own shit going on. They're doing their own thing. And the High Priestess is very much about just somebody kind of being quiet with you, or kind of being reserved. You feel like you can't get them out of their shell, or there is someone just straight up ignoring you, or there's an annoying person who is giving you the silent treatment. And it's like, you're actually doing me a favor. You think you're punishing me by giving me silent treatment. It's actually a break. That's the way I would see that, if that's coming through for you. Sometimes when people punish others with the silent treatment, this is in your environment, so I feel like it's somebody else. They're projecting, because quite likely that person's worst fear is being ignored, or somebody not speaking to them, or them not being seen. But you're being seen. Remember, that's the distinction. So their projection on you then is to do what they fear having done to them. And, you're like, well, I'm actually okay with that. But they think they're punishing you. Maybe it's just actually a nice break. Now, I feel like we've touched on the Page of Cups, but a lot of you are insanely creative at the moment and very artistic, very concerned with making something special. This doesn't have to be anything to do with art. I feel like when I say creative, that's the first thing I think of. And people always say to me, you're a Pisces, you must be creative. I'm like, not in that way, but I'm creative in other ways, I suppose. But creating meals, creating aesthetics in your home, curating, kind of putting together ensembles of music, of outfits, of recipes, curating items to sell in your store, whatever it is, your online store, your store on the corner, buying, shopping, seeing what people would like, selling as well, right? There's a lot of that going on this month, and you're just like, you have an eye. It's very very sophisticated, and it's fun, and it's youthful, and it's sparky. Huge call to tap into inner child work, which would be being disciplined with yourself, but also inner child play this month. We'll go into that, of course. Seven of Wands. All right, towards the end of the month, there is a full moon in Capricorn, the second of two sequences of full moons in Capricorn. We had one just there in the end of June. Was it the 21st? It was the 21st, right? I think it's the 21st of July again. Yeah, it was. So after around the 21st of July, the Seven of Wands, you're like, you're kind of getting irritated now at this point. So we'll see what that's about, because it's like, you know, even though you're being based, even though you're like very much sure of what you're doing and you're making all the right moves, and the tower cleansing has happened, it could be just like the fallout from the tower. Some people are like to you, what happened with that situation? Why did you do that? Why did you not go this way and about it? And you're like, oh, back off. I'm good where I am. And like, you're like beating these questions and allegations and concerns and opinions down. You're like, just leave me alone. Just stop. And then there's this like defense with the Seven of Wands, like defending your principles. Basically, at the end of the month, you're going to have to be explaining. Well, you don't have to explain anything, but people will be expecting an explanation from you, which you can yield to or not. And the Seven of Wands is just saying that regardless of what you do, Taurus, you're in the right. So the person here on top is here for a reason. The Seven of Wands underneath here, they're trying to get a reaction. People will be trying to get a reaction from you, and you'll be hearing a lot of why. Why did you do that? Why did you do this? Just remember at that point that the position you're in is covetable, and that's probably why people want to knock you down a peg or two. Haters gonna hate, am I right? Okay, Taurus, I'll leave you with that. If this is all you're sticking around for, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing, liking, commenting. Would absolutely love to hear from you. And if you're joining on Patreon for the extended, we do lots of stuff over on Patreon, lots of readings. The link will be down below. Thanks for watching. See you later.